What are the criticisms of Heckscher-Ohlin theory? The main criticisms are, first one, the HO theory is based on the unrealistic assumption of perfect competition and full employment. These two assumptions are unrealistic. And the second one, the factor endowment theory fails to analyze the influence of technological change on trade. This model is ignore the role of technological change, but in practical, this technology is very important in the determination of trade. Third point, this modern theory of international trade ignores the role of transportation cost in determining both direction and volume of international trade. Like classical traditional theories of international trade, like absolute advantage theory and comparative advantage theory, this modern theory also ignores the role of transportation costs in determining both the direction and volume of international trade. The theory assumes that the consumer's taste and preference are the same in two nations. But trade takes place if consumers' taste are different in two nations. The theory assumes that the same taste and preferences, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഒരു കോമൺ ഇൻഡിഫറൻസ് കർവ് നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്തത്. കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ഇൻഡിഫറൻസ് കർവ് രണ്ട് കൺട്രിയുടെയും കോമൺ ആയിരുന്നു, സെയിം ടേസ്റ്റ് ആൻഡ് പ്രിഫറൻസ് ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ടാണ്. ബട്ട് പ്രാക്ടിക്കലി trade take place if consumer tastes are different in both nations. And fifth point is, the factor proportion theory is based on the assumption that factors are immobile internationally. This theory or factor proportion theory or modern theory of international theory or factor endowment theory or HO theory, whatever. This theory is based on the assumption that factors are immobile internationally. Mobile within the country but immobile between nations. But according to John Williams, factor mobility was greater between countries than within a country. John Williams factor says that factor mobility are greater between countries than within country. And sixth point is, HO theory is mainly based on the assumption of free trade, but in reality, international trade is frequently hindered by the government attempts, such as tariff quotas, mainly to protect one from another industry. The HO theory is based on the assumption of free trade, but in practical, international trade is frequently hindered by the government attempts to protect one or another industry. Seventh point is, international trade in products based on natural resources is not explained using the factor proportions theory. International trade in product based on natural resources is not explained. This theory. For examples of these types of goods are diamonds, copper, coal, coffee, oil, etc. These are the natural resources. Thus, international trade in products based on these natural resources are not explained by this theory. According to HO theory, international trade will bring the equalization of prices of homogeneous factors among the nations. നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞ ഫാക്ടർ ഈക്വലൈസേഷനുള്ള പോസിബിലിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്. ഒരേപോലത്തെ സ്കിൽഡ് ലേബർ ആണെങ്കിൽ സെയിം വേജ് ആയിരിക്കും രണ്ട് കൺട്രീസിലും. ഇതൊരു എക്സ്റ്റൻഷൻ ആണ് HO മോഡലിന്റെ. അതൊരു പ്രിഡിക്ഷൻ ആണ്. ഒരേപോലത്തെ ക്യാപിറ്റൽ ആണെങ്കിൽ സെയിം ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് ആയിരിക്കും. അത് HO തിയറത്തിന്റെ ഒരു പ്രിഡിക്ഷൻ ആണ്. But in reality, complete factor price equalization is not observed because of wide differences in the resources, barriers to trade, and international differences in the technology. Okay. According to this modern theory, international trade will bring about the equalization of prices of homogeneous factors among nations. But in reality, complete factor price equalization not possible because of wide differences in the resources, barriers to trade, and international differences in the technology. And ninth point is the factor proportion theory fails to explain the intra-industry trade. This theory fails to explain the intra-industry trade. Intra-industry trade means countries simultaneously exporting and importing the same good. Intra-industry trade means countries simultaneously exporting and importing the same good. Product differentiation will be there, but main content will be the same. And last criticism is HO theory predicts that capital abundant nation will export capital intensive commodities and import labor intensive commodities. But empirical supports are very less for this theory, this prediction. HO theory predicts that capital abundant nation will export capital intensive commodity and import labor intensive commodity. But the empirical verification of this HO theory by Leon Diff showed that capital abundant nation may export labor intensive commodity. Leon Diff paradox means empirical findings that United States is a capital surplus nation, but exporting labor intensive commodity and importing capital intensive commodity. HO theory states that a capital abundant nation export capital intensive commodity and import labor intensive commodity. But in case of US, it was tested in the year 1947. Vasily Leon defined that US is a capital surplus nation exporting labor intensive commodity and importing capital intensive commodity. Actually, this is a Leon Diff first empirically tested HO model by using input-output analysis. Okay, HO model predicted that capital abundant nation will export capital intensive commodity and import labor intensive commodity. Leon Diff expected to show that United States, the most capital abundant nation in the world, exported capital intensive commodity and imported labor intensive commodity. Instead, his study showed that US exports were about 30% more labor intensive than US imports. This empirical study showed that United States exports were about 30% more labor intensive than its imports. This finding, which was just the opposite of what the HO theory predicted. So it became known as Leontief paradox. The findings of the Leontief is just opposite to the HO model. So it's become known as Leontief. It's became known as Leontief paradox. This is one of the main criticisms of HO model. Okay, thank you.